What's up, everybody? You're listening to the one and only T-Mac Inspired Podcast. Listen as she sits down with regular people to discuss the ideas, the opportunities, and the wealth-building strategies that they're taking advantage of so the rest of us can do the same.
Hey, it's your girl T-Mac here. Before we jump into this episode, listen, I'm calling all nurses, all healthcare professionals who are looking to get into real estate to meet me and my friends of the Nurse REI Club in Sacramento, California on May the 20th through the 22nd for our second annual Nurse REI Club retreat. Okay, there's going to be a phenomenal lineup of speakers. You do not want to miss it. Go ahead, click the link below. It is the Nurse REI Club's second annual retreat. See ya.
Odell.
What's going on?
How you doing?
Living a dream. Today's better than yesterday. That doesn't mean that yesterday was bad. It just means that the future is always better than the past.
Awesome. I like your setup there. Now, do you do podcasts as well?
Yeah. I have a couple different podcasts that I do. And so, gotta look official for you.
Hey, I'm just out here doing it scared, doing it ugly. I'm just out here doing it.
Hey, it works. Scared and ugly works as long as it gets done.
Tell the people, what do you do, Odell?
Oh, that's such a seminal question on every podcast, every interview. So the first thing I would say is to people watching, if you're going to get interviewed, make sure you know what you're going to say when people ask what you do. I'm a professional speaker by trade. I'm also a marketing coach for small business entrepreneurs to help them get seen and help them get paid to advertise their business.
Whoa, that was heavy. Okay. So when you say help people get paid, let's back up. Let me back up a little bit. Podcast. What's your podcast about?
So I have a podcast called Public Speaking Profits. It helps small business owners learn how to use public speaking as a medium to get paid to advertise their business. So Public Speaking Profits. Then I have a niche podcast that is dedicated to the clientele that I serve. It's called the NAMCA podcast. So one way that I use podcasts, and maybe this is something that could help a lot of people, is I interview people that I want to pay me. So that is what I use my niche podcast for, is anybody that I want to work with, any company that I want to hire me, any school organization, I get them on that podcast and we just have a conversation, 15-minute conversation about their job, about what they do, and about what services they utilize, how to make their job easier. And that's what we talk about. And so usually from that conversation, I build a relationship with the person. So even if they don't hire me, they're at least an ally, somebody that can refer business to me, or I can refer, business to other people. So that is like my marketing podcast. And my podcast, Public Speaking Profits, is like my public service content that I share out and give out.
OMG. You just gave a whole masterclass in less than 2 minutes, right? No, I'm serious.
So.
Like, you literally just gave a masterclass. Like, number one, that's a funnel. You're using your podcast as a funnel for the people who you want to pay you, right? So, but you're just having a conversation with them, and you're really finding out where the holes are in their businesses and things like that. So you automatically know how you can help them.
Right. That's it.
Oh, genius. Okay, we're done. Thank you, everybody, for attending. That is super genius, because a lot of people think that a podcast, they think linear, one way. They're not thinking as I can use this as, a funnel, as marketing, as, could be my potential future client. And we're building a relationship based on this one conversation. And then they can sit, if they're not my client, they can send me my ideal client from this one conversation. So
Absolutely.
how effective has that been in your business, having that as a funnel?
It's been I would say it's been the seminal shift that I made in my business that always brings me leads. And the thing is, and we've learned this in the mastermind that you and I are in from the GOAT,
Yes.
Myron Golden.
Yes.
The more sales conversations you have with people that can pay you, the more money you'll make. And it's really that simple. So when I started it, Tasha, I started it kind of out of desperation a little bit. And it wasn't a podcast. I just started like reaching out to the people that had hired me in the past and said, hey, I want to learn more about what you do, et cetera, et cetera. So these are people that I like tight with, that I can text, that have hired me in the past. But then I started thinking, and I said, I wonder what other people would be willing to talk to me. Then I found out in the specific market that I work in, a lot of those people don't get interviewed. So then I started, okay, well, I can, interview people. And then, when you have a process that you can package up and sell, then that's a whole nother business. So what I started doing then was I started getting more interviews that I could handle. It was like, I can't interview everybody, because I still got to, actually deliver on what I'm doing. I got to go speak. I have to, do all these things. So then in my coaching program, I just created a way for all of those leads to talk to my coaching clients. So then I'm bringing them the people that could hire them. So it's just duplicating the process. Like, hey, have more sales conversations. And so everybody that comes into my inner circle, the goal is, hey, let's get you talking to 100 people in 6 months that could pay you. Once you do that, you'll make all the money you need to make. We'll be best friends forever. And then you'll refer more people to me, or you'll do your own thing. So that really happened over the pandemic, when I just started talking to more and more people. And then there's too much business out there. So I guess a principle from that is people that are operating in lack, there's too much business for you out here. It's literally too much. You can't buy all the real estate you want to buy. You can't buy it. Even if you're Elon Musk and you buy Twitter and all that stuff, he can't buy the whole internet. Like, you can't buy it all. So the goal is to get to a place where you live the lifestyle that you want to live. You do what you want to do. I get to talk and meet with dope people like you, and I get to speak when I want to speak on stages I want to speak for, and I share the process with other people. And then, you buy your assets and you do all this stuff with the excess. At least that's what I do. I'm not telling anybody to do that. Just saying that's what I do.
That's what I do too. Like, and there's no secret to it. A lot of people think that, there's like a secret formula. There is no secret formula. What I'm hearing you say is, I found what I'm living the life that God called me to live. I'm serving the people God called me to serve. And now I live in the abundance of that. Period.
Absolutely. Yep. That's it.
Period. You designed it the way that worked for you and your lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Right. And so I think it's sometimes we say, oh, it's genius, but really it's God. I have a calling. I have a purpose. I'm going to live that out, and I'm going to serve the people God called me to serve at my highest level. And then the rest is gravy.
Yeah. And we all have an assignment. I think that, and it's something that we know, until it's articulated, we don't really like see it or hear it clearly. You grow up, you go to school, they give you a major, you have a career path or something like that, but it's not, it's an assignment. And the thing with an assignment, you're always assigned to a group of people, period. There's always a group of people that you are assigned to serve. And once you serve those people, you'll feel fulfilled. So if you're listening, watching, and you're like, you're not serving your people. And that part of the assignment. So you don't have to be whatever it is you think, the superstar, the entertainer, or whatever. Whoever you think of, though, they're walking in their assignment. And the ones that do it really well and the others, they're walking in their assignment. So we just have to find our people. And it honestly, your limitations is based on the bandwidth that you have to serve. So some people, I can serve, thousands of people. Great. You serve thousands of people, depending on what you charge, you could live super well. But honestly, you could live super well serving hundreds, depending on what you charge. So it's just a matter of you finding your assignment and knowing that within that assignment, you're assigned to a group of people. And the last thing I'll say, Tasha, before I throw it back to you, within that assignment, you have to develop a skill set. So some people, they want to mimic what they see, and they don't see the talent that is displayed. Whenever I speak, I always say, hey, does anybody know somebody that's super famous, but you don't think has talent? And everybody raised their hands. I used to ask who that person was, but I got in trouble for that because, you're talking about, this is the Kardashians. I'm on your show. You said I could speak freely. So it was like people were naming the Kardashians. I don't think about the Kardashians that much but that's what people were saying. The thing with them is you don't understand. Most people don't understand what their talent is. They think, they can't sing, they can't dance, you don't understand that their talent is to get you engaged. That's a talent. The media, the news, why do they share? There was a train wreck that killed 38 people. Why do they share stuff like that? To get you engaged. Because a train wreck, if you're in a train wreck, God forbid, there's really nothing you could do about that. Besides staying away from trains and train tracks. There's really nothing else you could do about it, but they share it so that you engage. It's like, ooh, we're going to share this at 6:00. Then they can sell the ads to everybody. So like, that's what it's for. And so your skill set to the people you assign, you need to develop that, and you need to continue to develop that so you can serve more and more people. My skill set was specifically speaking and writing to inspire people. So when I discovered that years ago, just walking into that and developing that and making it bigger and better allowed me to serve more people.
Yo, wow. What do you say to people who say, well, I know what God called me to do. I'm doing that, but I'm not getting paid to do that. Like, I'm not living the life I want to live because I don't feel like I'm getting paid enough money to live that life. What do you say to those people?
Well, just like every assignment is connected to a group of people, every assignment comes with an asset. So you have to get paid. That's the first thing to establish. And most people I've come across, especially people that have faith, they have a heart for people. Like, they want to serve people. They want to, do things for people. And the challenge with that is you have to get paid, not just for you, but for the people that you serve. Because we've heard this before. We've probably said, I know you've said it before. If people don't pay, they don't pay attention. And anything that you get for free is usually cheap. And so your process, I know I'm walking in God don't want you to be broke.
Come on, somebody.
If you read the Bible, my family read the Bible pretty much every night. We do devotion, and we tell our kids all the time, look at this person in the Bible. Look at Abraham and Abraham's wealth. Look at this person. It literally chronicles the wealthiest, most influential people that God created. That's what the Bible does. So if we're to mimic that, like, we have to be those people. Now, you don't have to be a gazillionaire or anything like that. Your lifestyle fits to where your lifestyle fits, whatever. But you have to charge people because it's just a circulation of currency. Like currency it's flowing, right? So you need to charge people so that they respect and that they will value that in which you're offering them so that they can create value to help other people. And I think it was Walt Disney. I hope I get this quote right. If I don't get it right, y'all can look it up. But Walt Disney said, we don't create movies and build theme parks for the money. We make money so that we can make movies and build theme parks so that people can live their dreams.
Wow.
So like we need the money so that we can do the stuff to help the people. And so that's in your life individually. If you don't get the money, I've been there. I'm not going to speak for you, Tasha. I've been there where I was, making $500. I remember back in 2012 driving to Illinois from North Carolina in my own car to do a $900 speech.
Wow.
Like I was struggling. I needed that $900. I needed that money.
Okay.
But I remember that it was so difficult. It was so hard. And it's like, well, if I don't charge this, they won't pay me. It's like, no, my willingness to sacrifice and do that, somebody's always going to take advantage of you if you let them. So I can't do $900 speeches anymore in that manner because I have a family and I have, bills and I have all those different things, obviously. So you might be thinking, well, you can't serve those people. Like, yeah, I could serve those people in a different manner. Right, in a different capacity that will allow me to not have to drive 12 hours to go there. So if you're wondering, well, how can I get paid? You have to think about it in different layers. Do they need you to physically be there for you to serve them? If Beyonce drops an album right now, like literally at this moment, nobody will be watching or listening to us. They'll be like, oh, let me go download Beyonce's album. She ain't there. She recorded it. She did the promo. She did all that stuff. She at the crib with a wig off, with her feet up. She's not paying attention. And so, but she created that thing. So maybe you can create something, a product, digital or not, for people to serve them then. Then you can charge whatever, and that mechanism pays. If it requires your time, you got to charge more. You have to charge more because time is limited. We don't understand it. It's a mystery. We don't know how much time we have. So your ability, I have to be here. Cool. Just charge a premium. And then if it's a mix of it, and maybe you can get somebody else, like a teammate, a partner, a business partner, or something like that to be there in your place as a proxy, then you can do that. But you got to think about it different layers to whereas, okay, maybe I want to make $5,000 for this, but it requires my time. Or I want to make $10,000, it requires my time. What else can I offer that doesn't require as much of my time? And once you do that, then you start learning the process of selling, and then it'll be easier to charge.
That's good. We talk, but we don't talk like this. I mean, because when we see each other, we're always, with our mentors. So we're just soaking it all in, and we get to say hi and bye, and we may have lunch as a group, but man, we need to talk.
Hey, I'm open. That's what we do, right? That's the whole point of joining. And you mentioned the master class. I tell everybody, especially, and Myron says, like, you pay a certain amount for something, you go tell everybody, like, look, I paid for this. But one thing that I recognize, Tasha, and I don't know if this is something that you recognize too. I think when I first met you, you hadn't yet had your $100,000 day yet. You hadn't had it yet. I still haven't had mine. I still had like a few $30,000 days or whatever. And just talking about a $30,000 day like that, last year I wouldn't have been able to do that. I would have been like, ooh, $30,000 a day. So I share that because your mindset can only be expanded in a community of people.
Yeah.
So you can try, and we've tried. I'll read the book. I'll go to the seminar, the one-time seminar. I'll do this thing, but it's not until you see people all the time. Like when you first got your award, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's it. She didn't have it at first. Now she got it. It's like, cool. So I can do something like that, right? Like I can do something like that. I can, and you have a group of people that usually operate in abundance. And so when you have those types of people and you see their growth and you see them moving, then you're like, yo, I get it now. And so that's one thing that I tell everybody. Most people have like an inner circle, a coaching group. I know you have your group. The real value in those groups is that. That's the real value in those groups. And so the best part for anybody to do is get in a community of people where they stretch it, where it's like, oh, $100,000. That's great. That's good. Yeah, I had a $2 million day. We had this. And it's like, man, you had that. And then when they talk to you, this is the part, and you talked about, we don't get to talk like that. When you get to talk to people and then they see what you do or they hear, they're like, oh, okay, I would tweak that and do that. Like my business was tweaked. If you would have interviewed me 8 months ago, I would have just said, I'm a professional speaker and I help speakers get booked. That's it. That's all I would have said.
Right.
But then I had a conversation with Andy Stickle. Shout out to him. This is in our group. And he said, you know what, Odell, you should think about it like this. You should do that. Man, if you did that, I was like, son of a gun. Just that. He was like, yeah, just do that.
Yeah.
I was like, boom, $30,000 a day. And it's like, oh, why didn't I do more of this? But see, then you get it. And it's within that group that you build that mindset, and you can't ever shrink back. It won't ever go back.
Oh, say that again. You cannot unlearn what you have learned.
You can't. It's like you feel like you're in the Matrix. Like if you go through, and I remember before I got in the King of Solomon Inner Circle last year, I remember talking on one of Myra's challenges. And I know you have your challenges. That's why it's important to show up to those things. And I said, yeah, I've got this, I do $10,000 one-on-one. And he was like, one-on-one? It's like, how long do you spend with them? I was like, 8 weeks. And he was like, 8 weeks for $10,000? It's like, you meet with them one-on-one? He said, oh, huh. Like, it was just like, yeah, I wouldn't do it like that. It's like, why not? That's $10,000. He said, yeah, but that's so much of your time. And he's like, well, you should try it this way. And I was like, okay, again, just a little tweak. Try it that way. It's like, will people pay for that? Of course, people will pay more. And so when you start doing that, you articulate the value to other people that have already done it. Then they say, well, try it this way. And then you try it, and maybe it won't work or maybe it works. But again, you have the community to bounce those ideas off of, and you can tweak and shift and tweak and shift. That's why I love what you do, because you bring women in, normally women, and you stretch their mind. And then once they do that, they're like, okay, I can't let Tasha down. I gotta do this. I can't let this sister down. I can't let this person down, because they're thinking to themselves, it's already boom. So I come in $10,000 a month. If I could get that, it's like, yeah, how about $10,000 a week? And then once you do that, it's like, okay, shoot, that's 40 grand a month. That's not bad. Maybe I can get the 40 a week. And then you just start stretching it and stretching it and stretching it. And then you've changed your entire generation before you and after you.
That simple. Getting, a lot of people call it these days, getting in the room.
Yep.
Having a seat at the table, being a part of a group, community, whatever you want to call it, ecosystem, having an ecosystem. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but you got to have, like you said, when we were in school, projects was based on being in, assignments was, they were based on being in a group, group setting, teaching you how to play well and on the playground and the play box, things like that. It's huge because just to veggie back on what you said, not piggyback. as our sister Hermione says, just to veggie back on what you said. Think about it. One of the reasons I believe that the ladies of my inner circle are so successful and are doing really, really well, really, really fast is because the expectation is there, meaning they know she's going to say, all right, let me hear the wins for the week. So from Wednesday to Tuesday, they're winning. They're like, I know she's going to ask. So, whatever I'm working on, I need to get to it. I can't procrastinate. There's no room for lack. This is, we got to go. I got to do what I need to do. So I'm creating an environment for them to win. Right? Some people might want to call it accountability, whatever you want to call it. But if like we're in a group and we already know our mentor, the first thing he's going to ask in our meetings, all right, where are the wins? Let's hear the wins.
Absolutely.
So he has created an environment for us to win. So we go and duplicate. We do the same to the people God called us to serve. And I feel like that's why, I can only speak for my inner circle. That's why the ladies of my inner circle are, succeeding at what they're doing, is because there's an environment there.
Absolutely. And again, kudos to you and what you've done and been able to do in a relatively short amount of time. Because a lot of people, when they see, people like you, people like me, and they didn't know us before. So
right.
Like all they know is, oh, this person is doing this and that person is doing that. They don't see you talked about, doing things scared and ugly. They didn't see you when you was scared and ugly, trying to figure out everything. And and I tell people all the time, when I was in between bank accounts, like entrepreneurship was ugly for me when I first started. Like it was ugly. I quit my job in 2013. And I thought I was going to be this amazing Les Brown, professional speaker. And cause I was so good on stage, I was winning contests, Tasha. I was winning awards for my speaking and all that stuff. And then it was just like crickets when I left my job, and I had a little bit of money saved up, and that money went quick. I'm telling you, the bills, when you got money, like the bill cycle comes. I just filled up my tank today and I was like, dang, it's the end of April. Oh, it's about time again to pay the bills at the beginning of the month. And so it happened so quickly for me. By the end of 2013, I was living speech to speech. So it was like, I was hoping like, oh, if I get this speech, hopefully they'll have the check for me right then and they won't have to mail it to me, and it might take a week or two. But hopefully they'll have, I used to be like that and I was struggling. And so I had to change bank accounts because they keep drafting. Ain't nothing there. So let me go ahead and close this bank account. Let me go to this bank and then let me go to that bank. It was horrible. It was bad.
You were literally robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Robbing Peter, John, Jane, all of them.
All the disciples.
All of them. And so when I did that, people don't see that part. They don't oh my gosh, because I was still speaking. I was still on stage with the pictures and everything like that, but they didn't see that part of it. So when they see us now, it's like, well, I just found out about you last year. How do I know this isn't a scam? Somebody emailed me that yesterday. It's like, how do I know that you're not just doing this I'm like, look, you believe what you want. It doesn't matter to me because I'm one of those coaches that I do what I teach. So if you don't want to join my group or anything like that, you can watch me and other people win while you struggle. And it's fine. Sometimes people want to struggle. It's okay. People like struggle love. I've never been about that. People like struggle love. It keeps them alive. I don't know. Some people like struggling in business. The best way that you don't struggle in business is to get in a group of people that are not struggling. That's the best way to win. And if you can't afford it, binge all of their content that's free. Like listen to interviews like this and plug in to different people and use a tweak or two, get your money up. And then as soon as you can get your money up, get in a group of people that are going to lead you to further serve the people you're assigned to.
Come on. That's it. I'm telling you, we're really going to have to like talk. I love it. I love the conversation. But before you go, I need you to talk to the 2013 Odell. Come on.
Whoo. What do I need to say? Like, am I speaking from the future? Am I telling them what to do? Like, what is it? There
are thousands of 2013 Odells out there right now.
Got it. Okay, so if I was able to go back in time and talk to myself when I quit, I remember it was February 12th, 2013. It was the day before my mom's birthday, and it was also the day that she got laid off from her job after working for 25 years. So we met at IHOP. I worked the night shift, and I said, Mom, I want to take you out, for breakfast and all that stuff. And she told me that she got laid off, and I told her I was quitting my job. And my mom had always been like pro job. She's like, you got to have a job, benefits, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. But she looked at me that day and she said to me, she said, go after what you want. Like, I'm proud of you. Go after what you want, do whatever it is you have to do because these companies don't love you. And so right after that conversation, this is what I would have said to 2013 Odell. As fast as you can and as efficient as you can, interview everybody that has ever paid you anything. Just interview them. Tell them that you are working on a project. You're putting together a project, a YouTube channel, a podcast, a book, or something talking about the future of whatever it is they're doing. So for me, I was speaking at colleges primarily. So the future of higher education, just bring them together, talk to them, tell them it'll only be 15 minutes. Just want to talk. As soon as you record, then you make a soft ask. What is a soft ask? A soft ask is when you ask somebody to do something that doesn't cost them any money in minimal time. That's a soft ask. If you can get somebody to commit to a soft ask, when the time comes for you to ask for money, it's a lot easier to ask for it. So give them a soft ask. Hey, is there somebody that you know that I could interview about this too? That's one thing. Another thing, hey, I have an idea about something that came across my mind as we were talking. Once I get the idea together, could I reach back out to you and ask you about it? That's another soft ask, because then you're conditionally getting them to commit to meeting with you again. And so that's what I would tell 2013 Odell. Do that. Get as many people as you can. Interview your ideal client. Just talk about them for 15 minutes. Then get as many soft asks as possible. And here's the last thing that I would say to 2013 Odell. Learn how to sell. Learn how to sell. And if you're listening to this and that struck, oh my gosh, sell, oh God, everything that moves, everything that transacts, there's a buyer and a seller. The reason why you need to learn how to sell 2013 Odell is because in every transaction, there's a buyer and a seller. The way that you make the most money is by learning how to qualify, congregate, and collaborate with buyers. Because once you do that, Once you qualify the buyer, once you congregate the buyer, you collaborate with the buyer, you've built a relationship, and then you can partner with them to sell something. But here's the real kicker. You can partner with other sellers to introduce them to that community. And then you can charge admission for them to get in that community. So you're making money off of the buyer because they're working with you. Then you're making money off of the potential seller, and you're building a community, and you run the score up that way. That's what I would tell 2013 Odell and anybody that's in that position.
Drop the mic. Odell, you are fire. People are really, really sleeping on you.
It's all right. We're going to wake them up. It's all right. We're going to wake them up.
I'm just saying, like, I'm literally, and I never do this, but I'm going to publicly say this. After each interview, I just send it on over to my editor and let him do his thing. But I'm going to put this on replay.
Hey, I appreciate that.
I promise you, like, everybody knows I'm super transparent. This interview, I'm putting on replay.
I love it.
I
appreciate you.
Fire. Like, you have no idea. Oh man, I can't even go into it right now because I'm getting teary-eyed. You know, I'm a crybaby. Everybody knows I'm a crybaby. I'm rah, but I'm such a crybaby. But anyway, thank you. Thank you so much for coming here and having this conversation with me. I know for a fact that there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be reaching out to you. I'm going to put the links below. But I just want you to just tell them, you know, how can they find you now? They need you now.
The best way to find me, you can go to publicspeakingprofits.com, publicspeakingprofits.com. And if you're interested in working with me, there's a link up there that says work with us. You can do that. Or if you just want to, you know, have more structured content, I have a mini course. It's 4 videos. It's free. Just go there. And those 4 videos will teach you how to use public speaking to get paid to advertise, build community, and impact the world. So just go to publicspeakingprofits.com. I'm on across all social medias, Odell Bizzell, ODELLBIZZELL. And Tasha, I appreciate you. You got to promise me that you're going to be on my show.
Done. Consider it done.
Love it.
Done. All right, y'all got it. I will see you guys on the next episode. Until then, be blessed.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was sponsored by Your Skin Cosmetics. Y_IOR, Your Skin Cosmetics. They are launching their brand new Rosewater skincare line. Go ahead, click the link below to Your Skin, YIOR, skin.com to get your bundle today. And use the code TMAC20 to get 20% off. All right, see you on the next episode.
Hey. Don't forget to follow me, if you're not, on all platforms at TMAC_inspired. All right, see you on the next episode. Bye.